Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Ford, Cindy Perlman from the Sun-Times.
Hi.
Your former hometown teacher.
Yes.
Great job in this film. Could you just talk a little bit about how it appealed to you and had you read the book in the past?
I actually read the script before I read the book, and I thought it was an interesting subject that I hadn't seen in film. I saw an interesting character that was responsible for supporting some questions about responsibility and the military and about relationships between young people and old people and a lot of things that intrigued me. When I met with the filmmakers, I had a sense that they were very ambitious and focused on making a film that I thought would be useful to a young audience. So it was altogether attractive to me.
The movie's very intellectual. Are there any themes that specifically for young boys or girls who might watch this? Any themes or questions that you feel might come up or that they should be discussed because of this movie?
Well, I think a lot of questions will be raised, and that's why I think it's a really good family movie. I think young people are likely to drag their parents to this movie, require answers from them about what's going on here, and the other way around. I think it's parents may wish to bring their young people to this movie as well. The themes are responsibilities, individual responsibilities, leadership capacities. What the military does to create leadership capacity. But this is a strange situation here. We're talking about a world government meeting the threat of an alien invasion. So there's not the usual issues of militarism and military adventure. This is not one country with a national interest trying to control another country. This is not a kind of national patriotism. This military is in aid of protecting life on Earth. These themes are, while they seem familiar, are a little bit differentiated by the context that they come up in.
Harrison, you've had a great year with playing Branch Rickey in 42 and now this movie, and I understand there's an Oscar campaign being mounted for you for that film. Warner Brothers is screening it for Oscar consideration. How important would that be for you? Is that something you feel you've missed in your career with everything else?
No, I think the campaign is largely in aid of drawing a greater audience to the film, and I think that would be a good thing. I think 42 is a wonderful movie, and I'm very proud of the movie. And what can you say? Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Ford.
Sir.
I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about your experience working with equally fine actors Sir Ben Kingsley and Viola Davis.
Yeah, a great pleasure. I have utmost respect for Sir Ben Kingsley and Lady Davis. They're both tremendous actors, and we're delighted to have the opportunity to work with them. Sir Ben is hugely imaginative in the creation of his characters, and I had no idea what to expect from his version of Mazer Rackham. I thought it was really intriguing and useful in the telling of the story, and Viola is just a wonderful visceral actor to work with, and I enjoyed working with her also enormously. I'm very pleased to be able to work with both of them. Sir.
Mr. Ford, I want to go back to something you started with about talking about how there were several things about this script that intrigued you. And you certainly have built a career out of roles that have been intriguing and engaging. Is it still easy to find those roles that are intriguing and engaging, or is it a little harder to look for? And can you even find something intriguing and engaging about, let's say, the fifth part in a series of films?
Yeah. You know, what I look for is identifying what the utility of a character is to the telling of the story overall. And if I can identify that from reading the script, then I've got a kind of clear idea of whether or not I think the character is worth playing. And then the creation of that character, is it fully realized? Is there more work to be done? Can I think of an idea that might make it better? So on and so forth. I just like the process of taking something written on a sheet of paper and giving it life, shape. And I like the collaborative process of filmmaking, which is all simply to say that I love my work, and I would continue to look for things that have the potential to be engaging and successful. So whether it's the first time it's been done or the fifth time it's been done, what I always looked for in the Indiana Jones film was that we advance the notion of the character, the audience's understanding of the character from each film to the other in an ambitious way. So Indiana Jones's father would appear. Indiana Jones's long lost love and the son he never knew would appear. All of that made it very much more interesting to me. So the potential, I think, to build on audience's knowledge of a character is you can take advantage of that, I think, if you're ambitious.
The Endless Generation, they play game and so vertically and they're using the CGI or iPad or whatever it's called. And right now it's the 21st century, the kids play game and they don't play outside anymore. And I'm kind of interested in this game. It's in the future, in the 21st century, we have still bullies in the school. So how was when you were like a 12 or 14 years old, what type of the kids you are, and is there any how did you make a friendship with your classmate or friends?
Oh, I grew up in a city, and instead of playing games in space, we played cowboys and Indians. We played games that were built on imagination. We used to play Superman or crazy. Stuff based on the characters that we knew from comic books and stories. We used to, I think kids will always have an imagination. Right now, their imagination is stimulated by electronic games often. But I have a 12-year-old. I see all of his friends. They play outside a lot. They're parents limit the amount of time that they can spend playing with a video game, or they're on their little iPhones and things. So I think parenting there's a huge responsibility in parenting. Was in my time that I was growing up. There still continues to be that responsibility. And this film is one of those opportunities to do some parenting, engage your kids with some of the issues that this film speaks to.
Since everybody's trying to take you down memory lane, I wanted to ask you about American Graffiti was 40 years ago, and I was just wondering if there was something that you learned from that film that you can apply to the work you're still doing today? Was there something that you learned or took away from that film that still applies for you today?
Well, I think I was at a fairly early stage in my career, and I was learning everything. I was learning how to deal with the camera. I was learning how to deal with a director. I was learning how to think about story, and all of those things are considerations still. And I think I'm still learning. I'm still interested in perfecting whatever talents I have and continuing to grow as an actor, continuing to be useful to the telling of a story. Thank
Mr.
you.
Ford, hello.
Yep.
Ariel Noron. Working with people so young, what advice can you give to somebody that's just starting the journey of being an actor, and what do you get from working with people so young?
Well, I'm not prone to giving advice. I mean, what I think is important for a young person is to figure out how to be useful, not be so concentrated on themselves, but to see what they can do to make the overall collaboration with all the other people involved in a movie work better, to be useful. But I also think it's important not to base your ambition on anybody else's history, but to figure out how best to use your own particular personality and understanding of yourself to help tell other people's stories. So I guess there are two things there: work hard, figure out how to be useful, and don't try and imitate anybody else's success. Figure out how to do it for yourself, with yourself.